welcome to Trains in the Attic and another Wednesday live stream. And today we're going to be talking about control software and seeing what control software would be best for me on my layout. So I've gone to the website of the main providers out there, and we can have a look to see what options I have. So let me go back to that. So the first piece of software I have, which I have opened, is Firewire software, and it's train control. This is software which I have had experience with before. It's quite nice software, and they have a large range of different software packages and some hardware packages around. A few things with this one is, if we start off on the software point of view, this is one which I have known around for quite a long time. You have several different versions of the software. You start off with bronze, which is the most basic version of the software. Then you have silver, which is intermediate, which is good for most people. Then you have gold for if you have a lot of things happening on the layout and wanting a lot of control. It is quite expensive software. It's made in Germany from a company called Freiwald Software, and the pricing vary depending on what country you live in. So these are the prices for in the UK. The current version is Train Control version 9. And for the bronze version, you're looking at €124 in the UK. For the silver, you're looking at €374 again in the UK. And then for the gold version, which gives you everything plus a lot more, is €574 euros. If you have they do have an option whereby you can pay to upgrade from one version to the next, but the further back you are, the more it will cost you. I had a Train Control 7, so to go and get me up to the modern version, I'll be paying €479, which is a lot of money. And if I wanted to use it with my e-course, I would need to upgrade to this version because there have been some changes to how the e-course communicates. But as well as the train control software, you then have additional bits. So if I go back to the product page, you have a decoder programming software, mobile and remote software. You can actually network the software between several different machines. You have a car control software, and then sound software, so you can have sounds in the layout. And all of these bits of software are designed to work with each other. You start off with your train control, and then you just move through as time goes along with the stuff you want. Hi, James Ross. I agree, Train Control is a really good software to use. It's very intuitive. And if you're looking to see what you're doing, you can do a download and do a test install. This will go and give you an evaluation thing, so you can actually see what it's like. So that's train control. Is there anything else I can show on here? the other bit with it is the forum. They have a very good forum whereabouts you can ask questions, and you normally go and get responses. So that's good software, but there's a bit of politics that come with it, so I keep that out, but it's something to be aware of. The next bit of software, and the one I'm looking to move on, is iTrain. This just have two software packages which run together. You have iTrain for if you're running a train system, and then you have iCar for if you're running a car system. And as I'm going to be having both in my layout, this is looking very positive for me because this support for car system I'm looking at using. And so that's quite a good thing. Let's just make sure that's doing that. Yep. So iTrain, I forgot to get that up, have a UK seller, and that's DCC Automotive. So iTrain you can buy directly from them, directly from iTrain, and you can also go to DCC Automotive to buy it. The DCC Automotive is a very nice person, and he's a UK based shop. And for some reason my internet connection on my laptop's being a bit slow. So let's see what's going wrong with it. So DCC Train Automotive have a nice section on iTrain. They are the UK distributor for it. Just having a few internet problems there. I should really keep one thing open at a time. So if I go to that one, yeah, iTrain is a bit of software which I'm going to be trying. Again, if you go through the correct procedure, you can have a trial version of it. And DCC Train Automotive is a UK reseller for it. So prices for this is in pound sterling, and you have several different versions. So you have iTrain Ultimate, which give you car and train control. iTrain Professional, which I believe is just trains. iCar Plus, which is iTrains plus cars. You have iTrain 4 Plus. Then you have iTrain Standard. And you also have upgrades to it. So you even have iTrain Lite. So you can try for different versions, and again it have passed for upgrades. And the nice thing is, if you have a problem, you can just ring up DCC Train Automation and say, "Help, I'm having problems," and they'll be able to give you advice. And you can also talk to them at shows. Both Train Control and iTrain have a wide selection of hardware you can use it with. I'm looking at stuff which can be used with ECOS mainly, but I also have my Digitrack system, which I hope to use some bits of that in the layout eventually. So the next bits of software is free to use. It's JMRI, which is Java-based train control software. I have given this to my dad to use on the Garden Railway, and he have got on with it with like a house on fire. You can use it on PC, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and anything else you can think of. And you have two softwares which I am aware of, which is Decoder Pro, which in my opinion is the best software to use to program your decoders. Really useful software. And then you have Panel Pro, which is a good bit of software to create a mimic panel. You can program it to do block detection, routes, and other things. If you have a good IT background, you can make it to sing and dance quite easily. With just the basics, you can actually do quite a lot and very user-friendly software. So that's JMRI. The next one is another bit of free software, and that's RocRail. I've never really done much research into it, but it supports a large range of hardware, and it's Windows, Raspberry Pi, Mac, and Linux. So again, have a very good range of support. It's free software, again with what look like quite an easy graphical interface. And you have many different user interfaces. And looking like quite an interesting bit of software. So I don't really have that much information about it, so I can't really say that much either way. Another bit of software which I have read a bit about is Big Bear DCC Rail Controller. This is UK made software. You have a free edition which you can control 2 locos with. And it's looking like quite an interesting bit of software. So support, I'm not quite sure what system compatibility that would be for one I'm after. So you have quite a good range of compatibility. NEC, Hornby Elite, Lens, ExpressNet Space, LocalNet, Vesbrug 2, which will be coming soon. But no plans for GaugeMaster. Would be nice if ECOS was there, so it's software which isn't really suitable for me, but it might be suitable for other people's. Next bit of software is Hornby Railmaster. This you need for Hornby Elite to control it, and a USB port of I can't remember the name of the hardware. So this is quite interesting software. It's block diagrams. It's quite simple, but you have quite a bit of flexibility, and you can do some impressive stuff considering this system doesn't have feedback. I believe all the other systems I have said about so far do have feedback. So the Hornby system can do things based on time. So if you know your train will take a certain amount of time to travel one distance, you can then have it set to travel a distance. I'm not quite sure that much about the software, and as I don't have a Hornby DCC system, I've never actually done much research other than looking at it at shows and things. It's quite an interesting bit of software, and I think it's good that Hornby brought something like this out. So that's the 5 bits of train control software I have found. And what I'm going to do over the next few weeks, depending on how other projects go, is I want to go and experiment with for software, see what I can actually do, have a fixed amount of time whereabout I'm going to give myself, for example, 2 hours to see how far I can get, as all of the pieces of softwares will work with the Digichat system without any problems, see how I get on with the e-course, and just have a general play and record what I do and give feedback. But for software I'll be going is iTrain. If a website's behaving itself now, which I don't think it will be. No, it doesn't look like it's wanting to work that well. Yeah, if iTrain is the direction I'm going to be going now, because the cost of an ultimate system is going to cost me less than to get train control up to for Firewire train control up to the same level that I'm same version that I'm at the moment. And the car system I'll be using is supported by DCC, no, by iTrain and iCar, but I don't believe it is under the Firewire software, but that's something I will need to check. So that's that for the moment. So there's quite a few bits of software out there. If I have missed anything, please send me a message to let me know what I have missed. And it's quite amazing what can be done with the software. So one big bit of advice is to know what your software need before you build your layout. As my previous version of the water tank line, I had to redo because I had detection blocks in the wrong places, so the software just didn't want to work that well. So that's everything for now. Thank you to everyone who was watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment and share. Thank you to everybody for your time, and keep an eye out on Saturday for my next video, which is an interesting kit build. So thank you very much, and see you all next time. Thank you very much, Richard.